Welcome to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of limit champ or lucky track dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussions, tips,
tricks, as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
And whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough, and Chrissy,
and I give you just the tip.
We're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm not mental.
But we're weird. We're Everyone Racers. Welcome to a Bugatti Type episode. It's episode 252. The Bugatti Type 252 is a one-off sports car developed by Bugatti between 1957 and 1962. It never made it beyond the prototype stage and sounded like it was quite unreliable, even unreliable car. When during development, the car suffered numerous engine problems, and on the test drive, driver Pierre McCoy would frequently end up broken down on the side of the road. Let's hope that you aren't broken down on the side of the road, but even if you are, get out your bingo card because you never know what this episode will take you.
Oh, Pierre, you broke the Bugatti.
No, the Bugatti just broke when Pierre was driving because
and he said merde.
Yeah, he did.
Merde.
Like a lot. They just gave that Bugatti away.
Yeah.
All right. What you working on? Chris, what are you working on?
So much for other people looking at the color codes. Anyway, I've been working on the Corvette. The stupid stereo project took me forever to do. But it's done now.
And it sounds great.
When I hooked everything up, it worked the first time. And it sounds great. And I played Van Halen and Poison and Survivor and Phil Collins. And I felt right at home. This was great. I don't know what else you can listen to in your 84 Corvette.
You did play things that sounded loud that had bass. What did you?
I did.
Prodigy.
I did play a little bit of Sorry for Party.
Oh yes.
Just because I had to make sure that it worked.
Pretty sure the neighbors could hear it. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, when you put a reasonable amplifier in your car, and it's not a great stereo. It's stuff that I got all off of open box buys at Crutchfield and Amazon. It's like, okay, but it works and it's together and it's loud and good enough. So fine, done. Also got replaced most of the air conditioning system, new compressor, O-rings, orifice tube, receiver dryer, all that stuff. So we can have that charged and actually have working air conditioning. I mean, that's amazing. Diagnosed and ordered a new screen for the Q whole entertainment system in the Cadillac. Surprisingly inexpensive because they all break. And this one, after working for a while, it will then just have a mind of its own. So it seems fine at first, but it's not afterwards. But fortunately, they're not that expensive and not that hard to replace. So I've got one on the way for that. And also getting a weight distribution hitch set up. I was doing that tonight. The hitch on the Cadillac is 6 inches higher than the one on the Suburban. So I need doing some measurements and figuring things out. Figured I need a new drop hitch, a new drop shank. Then that's not something that happens in prison, but it should be. And a new one's on the way from Napa because they had the best price on it.
I hate when I drop my shank.
The drop shank.
It's fine.
Yep.
Chrissy.
So, Jeff, what do you? Well, you're fine. No, go. Whatever.
Sure. I was going in order of the color. Silly me.
Yeah.
Chrissy, what you working on?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out who was actually going. Not a whole lot. Did some yard work, growing some veggies. We got veggie going. We're at least for now, we have plenty of zucchini. We're giving it to all the neighbors and family and all that fun stuff. Working too much. And then I did a little work on my tan this weekend. So all good here. Jeff.
Well,
you obviously have a lot going on.
Not that much. It was hot as frick, so nothing fun like in the garage or anything. But I took the family to see Thor in the Chinese Lantern Festival, and I worked a day. But then all of a sudden, I got a check engine light. I was so excited, or not really excited. I don't know. So remind everyone, it's a 2020 Veloster N. I'm just about to put 20,000 miles on it in my first year of ownership, and I got a P2118. What is
that sounds like?
What's that sound?
That sounds like a great reason to go drop it off and exercise your warranty and say, you deal with it.
Yeah,
I'll pick it up later.
So it was very interesting. It happened on the way to work, and my infotainment system basically popped up and said, "You have a check engine light. Would
Did it
you
say
like-"
that to you, like just like that?
No, it said you. Yeah, it did. Those weren't the exact words, but that was the.
Hello,
theme.
Jeff. I am sensing an engine in
It did.
and the
I'm
light.
so
that you
startled.
sh-
I'm so startled.
a light
It's-
that you should check your engine.
Yeah, so it basically said, "Would you like to connect to Hyundai Blue Link service?" I was like, "Yes, I will. I have a warranty." So I pushed yes, and
Wait, is this all while you're driving?
This is all, of course, while I'm driving. The
Okay.
Triple digit speeds, I'm sure.
Okay.
No, I slowed down to double digit. A
Okay.
possible condition with your engine control system has been detected. A full system check is recommended to be done soon. Please contact your local dealership to schedule an appointment. And that's what it said. Push here to connect to Blue. So anyway, I got on with a lovely service person from Hyundai, from who knows what country. Sounded American, but you can never tell. And basically they were like, "Do you know anyone named Smith?" And I was like, "Not really." And they're like, "Well, that VIN is not registered to you."
Yeah.
So
you had this
can't-
problem.
I know, and I've told the dealership a couple times. So they said, "Well, you're gonna have to contact your dealership and have them change the ownership." And I said, "Well, I've done that already." And they said, "Oh, all right. So can you call back and we can work this out?" And I said, "Sure, I'll call back." 24 hours later, light disappeared. Don't care.
It's still there.
drive it.
No.
Oh
do
no,
it
it's stored. It's stored.
Yeah, so get it fixed while it's still under warranty.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have 5 more years and 80,000 miles.
Or
of
just
warranty.
get it fixed.
That's right. They have a 100,000-mile warranty.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
yeah.
Hyundai. Tell Jen, the lovely and talented Jen, to bring it in there. And not only will you get it fixed, but you also get something else special, maybe floor mats and oil changes.
Well, I plan on doing it. I just, never bothered calling to get it done, like get an appointment right away. So I'll do it. I'll do it when I have time. Next week.
Mhm.
That's a future Jeff problem.
Yeah.
Jeff.
After the V8s and the RX.
That's right. Yeah. So you've already heard me harassed by a new voice that is not mental. So I guess we should say that we have DJ 914 himself, Eric K, thespian owner of Glorious Flat 6 cars,
And
master and 4 cars, sure. Master themer and fabulous teammate of ours, Eric. What you working on?
Okay, well, I recently acquired the Garage Heroes track car, the NB Miata 1999. It's a fantastic car, but after a winter sojourn of quiet respite, it no longer builds any boost. And so I believe I have troubleshooted, which is not a real word, the issue, and I have ordered the right parts from Flying Miata, and I look forward to that coming in and me having a fully boosted Mazda Miata and play around with that. So I'm looking forward to that. And
It's really fun when the boost is on.
Yeah.
I can only imagine because it's fun now. Beyond that, I did get time. I was up at my parents', so I got time to spend with my my first real car, which is a 75 914. And honestly, the temperatures in Utica, New York at night are just glorious. I swear it was, got down into the upper 50s every night. And I could go out there with the roof off, pull the heater vent on, and drive around bombing through the country roads. And it was just like heaven for 914 owners. It was wonderful. Other than that,
Fall
got some
and
stuff.
spring temperatures and nights are the greatest time to own a convertible.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. And in the Southwest, I'm always surprised that there are so many convertibles because during the day, you don't want the top down. It's
No.
just so hot.
Well, all winter
Naked.
when
That's
it's
true. That's true.
that's when you do it.
Yeah, good call. Good
And
call. Anyway, that's
never rains.
all I've been doing. So good times.
Fantastic.
So is it a news and notes time?
I was waiting to see if Chris would do it because I think you are distracted, and I was waiting to see if that was something. He's not. Go ahead.
And I don't know why. Do I sound okay still?
You
You
better
sound fine.
better now.
Gorgeous. You sound gorgeous.
Okay, fine. Anyway, all right. News and notes. Hey, by now you know how much I love a Civic. Well, someone just found a time capsule 96 Honda Civic SIR with 16 miles on it, just 16. So Lewin Day at the Drive tells us the story of Jose Alvarez, owner of JDM dealer Vistec R Imports, who secured the pristine hatchback for his private collection. The car in question is a 96 Civic SIR hatchback from the 6th generation, known as an EK4. Built from 96 to 2000, featured the popular B16A 1.6 liter engine, 170 horsepower in JDM spec. Car's never been used, stored since delivery. There's still plastic on the seats. Rear headrests never got installed. So that even the pre-delivery work wasn't done. Car was put away exactly as it rolled out of the factory. Alvarez doesn't say how much he paid for it. It was bought from a set price buy it now section of a Japanese auction house. Internet is already asking how much it would take to sell. He's turned down offers of over 70, but for right now, he's keeping it for a private collection so he can sit and make even more money. That is the Barrett Jackson car of the future.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
The car is beautiful.
Mhm.
It's really amazing. It's 16 miles.
It is, but how much of a window is left for a 1996 Honda?
Oh, you kidding me?
Like this is almost the pinnacle.
It's an SIR.
I know, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like this is the perfect time. This is the when that generation is making the most amount of money.
Oh, I
and-
don't think it
No.
fits in with that.
They're
This is-
still they're still making money. Like this is the people of my age and a little younger even. So they are in their late 30s, early 40s. And it's not until they get to like 50s and even early 60s when they're, all right, I've got plenty of money. I always wanted one of those.
Mhm.
Boom. Yeah.
I totally agree. This is a Barrett Jackson. Keep it in your garage, put it in the back, and make sure rats don't get in it, and sell it in 15.
I guess I'm 50, so I think everybody's the same age as me. That's the problem.
I will say this though, at 16 miles, I would never buy it because you can't drive it. You
Oh,
can't
no,
drive a
neither would I.
16. You
No.
can't. So, if you don't
Well,
use them, are they
There
really
has
worth
to be a museum piece somewhere.
Yeah, it's always a museum. You're right.
Yep.
You don't want
Okay.
to even roll it into the Barrett Jack. You don't want to roll it into the convention center. It's too many miles.
It's
Just
true.
pick it up
Yeah.
and slide it over.
Put it on
You're like,
dollies.
each one of them, you're like, oh, wow, that's one more. Now you're up to 17. Oh, crap, 18, right? Like moving it out of the garage and putting it back
Literally.
in.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. All right. Have you ever heard of Canoe?
I have.
I
Yes.
had not, at least when it comes to the EV spaceship looking delivery van. Well, you might see more of them delivering your Walmart packages sometime soon. Walmart will row its boat, the final leg of their online ordering delivery system, with 4,500 canoes. It's part of an initiative to achieve zero emissions by 2040. The superstore chain said that it has a signed definitive agreement with Canoe, the U.S. EV startup, to purchase 4,500 of electric vehicles for use in its last mile delivery. It will also have the option to purchase 10,000 more later. Canoe also announced the agreement Tuesday, which involves a branch specialty, yes, lifestyle delivery vehicle, or LDVs, which Walmart will become the first to achieve. LDVs is a modified version of the Canoe pod shape, a lifestyle vehicle, LV, all electrical consumer utility vehicle with up to 7 seats of the unique limousine-esque U shape. The delivery version, however, foregoes the rear seats, boasts 250 miles of range, and a 1,464-pound payload capacity. They will be rolled out in Dallas-Fort Worth area, so they can be monitored. When you see this thing rolling for the first time, I feel like I'm going to be like in a iRobot or like on Mars or something. Like, these things are crazy looking.
It's definitely a futuristic shape, and the people who are watching on YouTube can see it. I'm sharing it. I hope everyone can see
It
it.
looks like a suppository with wheels.
I was gonna say a Tylenol,
Yeah.
but
It's a big, pretty red plane with wheels, curtains in the windows.
It's so weird looking.
It
you know
is.
what? It's weird now, but like think about like a 1988 Taurus. That looked weird. I think we're
did.
gonna get used to this design
86.
ethos
I mean,
pretty
Almost says
fast.
Johnny Cab on it, but not quite.
Not quite.
All right, back to Honda news. The interwebs has, of course, leaked spy shots of the new Civic Type R unveiling. And because I, as an avid listener, know how to avoid bad podcast, just imagine a 5-door 2002 Civic with a little less aggressive, a little more aggressive front end and a big wing and tires. Literally, that's it. It is less polarizing. It's pretty nice looking. And given its less polarizing look, I'm hopeful, but not too much, that we can get back to the sanity of buying cars like these without unreasonable and predatory dealer markups like we see on the Type R. To me, if this is just another element above, maybe this is something even people like me would be willing to purchase, because there's no way in hell I'm going to spend $15,000 over sticker for a Type R. I am looking forward to driving one someday. I think it's probably going to be even better than the current Type R, better than that exaggerated semi-Decatura styling in that Type R. And I'd like for Honda to settle on a design catalog where Type R cars are obvious, but not the festooned monstrosity of that last one. So take a look at it.
Festooned monstrosity. Semi-Decatura. You are really classing up the joint. You're
Come on,
increasing.
it's true though.
You're increasing the vocabulary.
Didn't have enough little like tassely things on it, but
But you know what I'm saying, right? That last Type R,
Oh,
we
yeah.
all know it's very polarizing.
I call it Gundam looking. I think that's
Okay,
what it looks
yeah,
like.
Gundam, sure.
like it drove through a nice Pep Boys.
Everything
They
that
did
would
a
stick
good
to it.
job
Yep.
in the Pep Boys.
Yep.
So that's cool. I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah.
You know we all love racing junk, right, Eric? You've heard this?
I love racing junk myself. I go on it
Ah.
often when I get a moment.
Of course, and you know we recently purchased our RX-7 there, which is our LS swap
Highly,
cab.
Worked out-
highly
worked out
reliable, highly
very well.
reliable.
Works great. To make you feel at home, I went to the search bar and I typed in Porsche to find something interesting to bring to you. Now, has anyone clicked the link yet?
No, you told me not to.
Okay, here is what I found. I'm going to hit the share screen button.
Private
Okay.
island.
It's a
May trade island for Porsche. 3 acres surveyed with 1 acres of undeveloped dry elevations on the Intercoastal Waterway south of Daytona Beach Shores, Florida, across from Wilbur by the Sea. Boondocks Waterfront Restaurant asking $500,911. How would you like to trade your Porsche for an island?
Honestly, I'll think about it.
Wait, it's also an island in Florida, though, right?
Right, and there's my problem. I'm never gonna move to Florida problem. That's
I think
my.
there's a lot of islands
my
in
delay.
Florida, like in the Everglades. Like,
I
Yeah.
think the big question is, we have a picture. It's out of a private plane. What are we buying here?
It's not
Like-
really clear at all. No.
Is it this giant thing up here? I don't know if anyone.
wait,
can
but
see
where's
what I'm
why is there?
saying.
There's a line
Or
in the
there's a
middle there.
line, so or are we buying
that's
this little
def-
peninsula?
That's not an island. That's a
What-
peninsula.
This is
It's
an
survey
island
ready.
here. So maybe
Yeah,
that's the buildable part.
I mean,
of the
it's still a
island?
no. It's still a swamp.
Yeah, you would
It's
have
true.
to. You'd have to give the surveyors combat pay because of what they're gonna have to fight with the alligators.
I
It's
love
not- It's not gonna be. I'm not doing that one.
I
Thank you.
love this idea though, because my grandmom had some land in Florida that she couldn't get rid of because it had some kind of snorly whacker, some kind of bird on
Snorly whacker? Okay.
it. Had some kind of endangered bird on it that we couldn't get rid of it. I should have just traded cool cars for this piece of land that nobody wanted.
It's funny because I'm looking at it again. It says 3 acres, but only
A.
1.8 is dry. So I think that's what the line is. But it says may trade island for Porsche ? And then in payment details, it says trades not accepted. So I think there's a lot of things going on here. I don't know exactly what's what.
I think this is not a good deal.
It's not a good deal.
Gotta have your
but-
eyes wide open going into this one. Wide open.
So,
All right, what else are we buying here?
got a real Porsche for you.
Ooh.
935 race car IMSA. This is a
Mm.
Coca-Cola livery full IMSA car. I don't know what year it says it is. 88. Reportedly competed in 88 and the 89 12 hours of Sebring. This is only $375,000.
Only.
So this guy thinks his island is worth more than this Porsche.
I would rather have this Porsche. And
I agree.
Although,
yeah, crazy man on Racing Junk. Take your stuff and stuff it in your hat. Yeah, there it is. RacingJunk.com. Buy a car, trade it for an island. It's
Or don't.
free. You know what? It's free to list. He took a shot. He wants a 911. He has a swamp.
Now, if you wrote him and asked what he would, what we could swap for it, you're like, I have a hood.
I'd like to end this with link in the show notes. Please feel free, listeners, to reach out. Tell us what he says.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Upcoming races. I most said listener feedback when it's done. It's upcoming races.
Lemons is in the Pacific Northwest this weekend. They are at Portland International Raceway, I believe.
I believe.
And so this-
Oregon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this race is bound to be weird because that's how Portland rolls. And there are just 35 cars though, which is kind of sad. But there's some quality here. Let's be honest. The 3 BMWs, all right, 2 Miatas, 2 Hondas, 1 Porsche, 8 Volkswagens. I don't know why.
8 out of 35 Volkswagens.
Yeah.
And they were just
But-
Volkswagens, not even Audis. There's additional
Yeah.
Audis on there too.
But we've got a Peugeot 505,
Wow.
a 47 Chevy Stylemaster. And Jeff, oh my God, YouTube people, Beazer Build is back with their CLK. Oh my gosh, oh my God, Jeff loves YouTube people.
You people. Question: This is what track? This
Oregon.
is
Portland.
Oregon.
Portland
This-
International Raceway, I believe.
People love this track. Why are there only 35
That's-
cars?
I don't know. Well, it's not the Ridge, which is even
Oh, okay.
better.
It's the Ridge. That's the one I'm thinking in Oregon that everybody says is fantastic.
Yeah. and
Not
it is,
they're on opposite ends of the state,
of
actually,
the state of Washington.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
And Portland and Oregon. Yes. Okay. Anyway, AER is at VIR this weekend. Wait for this. You can't wait. 33 cars, 21 of them BMWs.
Oh my God.
0 Miatas, 1 Honda, 6 Porsches, and literally nothing else that's interesting. I'm not even going to. There was nothing.
This is such a shame because VIR is so amazing. Go ahead, Chris.
It is. I have a clarification. It's Oregon Raceway Park, where they will be this
Yeah, I
weekend.
don't know what that
So-
is.
Neither do I.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's
Yep.
not a good
It's
track. I don't know.
Portland International is, I believe, actually owned by the
That's-
city of Portland, and it's actually a park and it's public property, so it's kind of cool that way. But this one, I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Either way, not many cars.
Someone out there who's racing, write us. Tell us why you're racing or not racing. What's going on? West Coasters.
Yep.
West Coast.
Listen
represent.
our feedback.
It's awesome.
Hang on, gotta scroll
Uh,
down. There we go.
We had some good responses to last week's show with Curtis regarding the potlucks. Andrew Steer said, "Show great today. Takeaway: don't bring potato salad to anything ever, or anything that's salad and does involve green leafy things." I may have added the last part. Allow me to retort, Andrew. I make salad all the time because there's a lot of meat, and I do like a fresh tomato and onion salad. People scarf that shit up. So just because it's vegetables doesn't mean you can't bring it.
Yep.
There's just enough potato salad.
I brought a
I can-
green leafy pit salad to the one at Pitt's race, and it all went away.
I concur. I usually buy Costco salads at Costco, and they all also go away. But you get the point, which is what we appreciate.
Yes.
The YouTube also mentioned, and it was my brother, so I probably shouldn't even bother reading it, but he loves the whole show, and he really wants us to bring back the whole show.
Oh,
Put on
okay.
a whole thing on there.
Hey, we like listener
So-
feedback.
Yes. And I'm going to say, if you're watching on YouTube and you would like to see the whole show on YouTube, or you like the other way, tell us, because it's a discussion we're having. So tell us.
We're a little bit back and forth on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote
Yep.
whole show.
Oh, you're on your listener
Yeah.
feedback on the show. What?
And Eric, you're usually a listener, so do you have any feedback for us?
You literally just said this.
I love
mean,
the whole
he
show
was
on YouTube. That's
Responding
good.
to my brother.
No, I think I listened to your episode, and I always intend to write you all, but run out of time in my very busy life. I think most everything I find enjoyable, just because I like the way, because you're my friends, and it kind of buy right into your witty banter and your discussions with each other. So I'm kind of not a good judge of the man on the street, but I would say, if you're going to cut anything, it's maybe just decrease the recent racing results. That's all.
It's been
Just why
thing. Well,
we didn't talk about it unless it's somebody we know.
done. Recent results out of here.
Know who else doesn't like recent results?
Pretty much. My
Chrissy's mom.
parents, because they
Yep.
could care less of what happened and which hot dog or ketchup won, or which 944
Which BMW
and
beat which Porsche,
which-
which
yep.
beat which BMW.
Nope.
Yeah.
All good.
Okay.
Hi, Mom.
All right,
Chrissy's
it
mom.
is main topic time. Weird. Eric, do me a favor. Go like this and point to that thing right behind you.
Wait a second. This thing, right?
That thing right there. Tell us what that is. That trophy that says 24
is
on
a most exciting thing. I was so proud of this team for winning. That is the Halloween Meets Gasoline prize for the New Jersey Motorsports Park Lemons race from 2022. We recently won that. And when we came back, everybody had COVID, so we didn't really talk about it.
We talked about it.
And
we
you
just didn't
tried to
really-
be pretty happy during that
I tried.
ceremony.
No, I was happy. Actually, I didn't feel bad by then. I wasn't feeling bad.
I think
until-
you were
No, he
going
was-
downhill a little.
He was in character the whole
That's
ceremony.
true too.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I was drunk the whole time.
Drunk as a character, not
As a
drunk
character.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
totally.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's the irony, because how many times have you seen me drunk? Like once when I was cooking potatoes in
Yes.
Big Race, I think that was it.
True.
Oh, Eric is the new Jeff. He does great themes and he doesn't drink much.
Till he does. And then
Until he does.
And then it's hilarious. It's epic.
Well, that's actually what our topic is. We're not going to specifically review the NJMP Halloween Meets Gasoline win. What we are going to do is talk about epic themes and how to have great themes and how to do great themes. And that's why we brought Eric in, because he has been our theme master for a decent amount of time now. I mean, this wasn't your first attempt at, or this was the one I think where we finally just went, Eric is in charge of every decision. I think it's been a lot of collaboration and a lot of discussion, a lot of this, but this one we came up with the idea and we really let you run with it. And we should mention that we're not just going to focus on that one, because we've done some great themes in the past.
Oh yeah.
And but this one was, we'll just go over it just to make sure everybody's clear. It was Blazing Saddles. And if you've seen Blazing Saddles, you know that it is an impossible theme. So we were really reaching for the stars here, but we did the Arrive and Drive, not the sheriff, is a real racer.
Right.
So we all played the characters from the movie, and we altered the movie to be a Lemons theme. Because what do we hate more than BMWs? It's Arrive and Drives who take things too seriously. So
A
yeah,
CCA.
that became our theme, and it was epic. We've done other epic great ones in the past,
Yes,
so we're going to talk about those. But we are going to talk a little bit about you, because we might need to do introductions. I think it's been like 2 years since you've been on the show. We had you in during COVID to talk about Porsches and stuff.
there was
So
sometime Chrissy
one
and I were
lap,
gone.
one lap of America. Chrissy and Chris were gone, and I basically told the story of one lap
yeah,
and what it meant and what it does and all that good stuff. And that was a while ago, certainly well more than a year.
so
you and Mental and me.
So reintroduce yourself. Tell us who you are, how we met you, and a little bit of your resume.
Frank, fantastic. Thank you. I am a avid car enthusiast in most ways, and I focus mostly on the German exotic sports car type things, Porsches mostly, although like I said earlier, I'm getting into the Miata world because it's just a lot of fun.
And a
I
million
would.
times cheaper.
Yeah, although I just spent a lot of money at flying Miata, so here we go. But I've been a avid car mechanic and restoration guy for practically my whole life. I remember when I was 8 years old, my father took me out to fix the rear brakes of his Plymouth Valiant at the time, and he was putting them back together. And I, being a precocious little kid, said, "Dad, that's backwards." And of course, it turns out I was right, and everything snowballed from there. And
Your
built
dad just
many a
wanted someone else
car.
to do drum brakes for him. So he's like, okay, fine, you do it.
It wasn't long after that I was just doing it. But no, my dad has always been great about making me part of that and making that be part of our thing. When I was younger, and we talked about this in the last one, around 13 years old, my dad actually bought me a Meyer, like a dune buggy frame, from which I got a Beetle motor and put everything in and drove that around the farm for 6-7 years, keep improving it. And that taught me everything. It also taught me that I didn't have nearly enough money for cars as a 15-year-old, because, heck, at that time, even a set of gaskets for $12 was 4 hours worth of labor at the local Pizza Hut. So it was one of those things of life, and you got to go get a good education and got to figure out ways to make this happen. So I parlayed that with some really great friends, met great guys along the way, and women too. And one of my high school friends, Tom, he and I have been playing with cars for our entire lives. He used to store them at my parents' farm, and he would just show up and work on them as if he were my parents' third son. And we, when we were kids, said, "Hey, let's do," when I say kids, I mean like 20s. We said, we're going to do one lap of America, and it took a while because, cars are expensive. And we finally, in 2016, we put together a 914.6. Tom did almost all of that work, just because I got him the car. I got a bunch of parts for him, but it was at his house, and that's in Syracuse, so it's far enough for me to go up there. And we campaigned that 914, which was a 6 conversion with a 3-liter SC motor in it, for the one lap of America in 2016. We came in second in vintage foreign, which I thought was impressive because the other
Absolutely.
things were quite difficult to fight with, and it was attrition that got them. They had some failures. The one had some failures, and that's what kept them from winning, because we were underpowered when it came to the other ones. We had about 200 horsepower, and they had, I don't know, 400 to 500 in the other 2 cars. Crazy. And I met Chris.
I'm sure
Chrissy
you
there.
were
Sorry.
lighter than them.
Yes, but honestly, you know, between 200 and 400 and some horsepower,
It's a big difference.
yeah.
Mhm.
If you went from 2,300 pounds to 3,200 pounds, doubling the horsepower, they kicked our asses.
Still gonna smoke you, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
But
serious hardware on one lap.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so true. And what
So
I was
much.
always amazed at, how much gets knocked out in the first couple races. I mean, people off the track and they're like, that was a $120,000 car, just good, messed up, but
Yeah.
all part of the deal. So I met Chris and Chrissy while they were campaigning their fantastic AMG, and they
Mental's
took
AMG.
pity on us because we had no heat. Well, it was theirs at the time, but well said. Mental's AMG, and they
No,
took
it's
pity on us
because
because we had no. Go ahead,
you-
please.
Well, it was just because we were sitting at the table at the first time. We kind of had small talk, and then we did feel bad, and then we became all remaining cars together.
And then you threw out an old Greg, like a casual
That was the first
old
day,
Greg
too.
reference. Just kind of
First
floated
day?
that one out
Yeah,
there,
pit race.
Yeah,
pit
it's first day.
and we picked that one
Yeah.
right up. And then we're like,
Yeah, you threw
are
it
we best
back.
friends now? Yeah.
Did you just
Strong bad references. Strong bad.
Did you just do the
old
mighty
Greg, it was
boosh?
awesome.
You're gonna hang with us.
Yeah,
basically.
it's so true.
Enough of that.
It was awesome because we just became almost immediate friends.
Yeah.
And towards the end, Chris is like, or Chrissy, I forgot who said it, like, hey, we do this thing called lemons. Would you be interested? And we're like, I don't even know what that all
So
means.
let me convince you. You get more track time. You get it's a better time. You can actually sleep and drink and have a good time, and you can actually like
hang out with people, talk
right?
with friends.
not
it's
have
so
to
true.
just jump from one to the other. And yeah,
you-
I think it's easy convincing.
And you really sold me when you told me you did Springtime for Hitler as a theme, which I, as a theater geek, I, love the producers, and I love, all those things. And I totally looked at that and I said, this is for me. I love themes. I love these people. I love this kind of concept. I love the IOE concept. And, and that was 6 years ago. And I have missed, I think, 3 races since then, but I've been to every other one.
But that's great that you bring up the Springtime for Hitler, because that was our previous no one can ever do this theme, because no one was ever going to supposedly have the guts to do Nazi things.
I have been challenging people for years to do Springtime for Hitler.
Even like vocally to other people, like other teams, right?
Like, you guys should totally do this when they wanted the theme. No one ever took me up on it. So then one spring day, I wrote to the team and said, here's what I think we should do. And everyone's like, I'm in. So that's another example that we can talk about. It fits the pattern that we had here of almost the same. Like, how do you turn this into a theme that lasts and works, and you can have fun with all weekend? And like that would have been the Halloween meets gasoline, but instead we got org choice because we had
Halloween
they didn't have it.
Exactly. But so, hey, I'm happy with the org choice we got it. That was fun.
And honestly, one thing I think that you did in that one that was the best I'd ever seen was the utilization of the cars as the theme. Now, don't get me wrong, all your boat themes were fantastic too, but making the one into the tank and all that stuff, that was brilliant. It was just fantastic. So that persisted.
So
I like the
quick,
Easter camo that we had.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll review what we did. So for those of you who have not seen the movie, go see the movie or the play or whatever. But we did bright pink, bright green, and like skyish electric blue. I still have these rattle cans in my garage.
Yep.
Of course you do.
Camouflage on all of our cars. So that year we decided that we were going to do a different theme each year, each race, and it was going to incorporate every car. So we turned the Civic into a tank. We had tank treads and thing on it. I believe
that was the first time the PVC.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. The boom
was installed on the Civic.
Actually carried on until that car met its final demise. So the boom, the tube became the giraffe head, the Mr. Fister arm, the Godzilla head, all of those things. So that stayed forever.
Kids love Mr. Fister.
Yeah, the kids love Mr. Fister. And then we dressed up as the characters. If you know the opening part of the show within a show, there are women with big sausages on their heads and pretzels, and it's just a glorious time for Germany, and it's all German things. It's beer steins and pretzels and sausages, and and then Omar came out kind of dressed like Hitler.
Yep.
And he was, I believe, very altered on substances that were not legal at the time, but are now legal in the state of New Jersey, because he was extremely nervous about even moderately pretending to be Hitler.
Yep.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I had lederhosen and a World War I helmet because I was trying to be the guy who wrote the play. But anyway, we stayed in costume. We had armbands all weekend, no matter what. They had the 3-pedal Mafia logo on it, not swastikas, because we're not that crazy. And it was a great theme.
I wish I had seen it. I mean, honestly, that's a brilliant theme, and it ticks off the boxes as we'll go through what makes themes great. It ticks off those boxes, almost every one of them, but I don't even know because I wasn't there. But
and let's add one or two more in so we can tick the boxes on all of these. So I'm going to add to this of the good themes of S&M when we had the Citroen.
Yes.
So we had the Citroen SM. Of course, we had to do an S and M theme. So we got the cars involved, and that we figured out. We had a whole whiteboard conversation about subs and DOMs and what that is, because we had to make this work. And So that we figured out, all right, the Citroen, it's crappy. That's going to be a sub. So what does a sub have? All right, it's got a collar, it's got a leash. All right, how do I put a leash on the car? So then we put a CB antenna whip.
Ball gag.
Yep, had a ball gag. So these are all the things. Okay, the Civic is a Dom. Okay, it's going to have one of those harness things. And then we said, well, what are we going to call it? Like, I don't know. And we're like, well, maybe let's have a fist on the end of this. Oh, Mr. Fister. Bang, like it just stuck as soon as it was said, it was done. And then
the TR7 was the GIMP. We painted it all black. We put a big zipper across it. So
so that's got
the costumes were fantastic. Please,
everyone wore S&M gear all weekend. No matter what you're doing, you had to wear at least some S&M gear. So obviously for BS, we really went pretty far out. And there's a great picture of Chrissy and Jeff on with the front of the Citroen there. That's not out there for public consumption too much, but everyone's, I think, has seen it at one point or the other. Jeff really leaned into the GIMP role in most of the weekend. Everyone really.
So I was looking through pictures just because this is kind of fun to have with pictures. I have some up if you would like to
share away.
If I'm able to share.
You should be.
Yeah. Jeff turned it on.
Okay, great.
Oh, yes.
So what we're looking at is the group picture after we won. This is probably going to go backwards a little bit, but this is just
this is the end of the weekend.
There's springtime for Hitler.
Actually, it's not what I was looking for. I apologize.
Oh, there's the armbands. Okay.
Okay. All right.
There's a ball gag on the S&M.
You got to just describe what is that you see, Chrissy.
Oh, I was looking for better pictures.
That's a Citroen with the ball gag. We're all pushing in because it died. And in the back there, you can actually see Mr. Fister a couple cars back. Yeah.
And you can see Chrissy and Chris, although the race is over and we're all wearing our team shirts for the trophy ceremony, you're still wearing your spike collars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because again, you wore something from the theme at all times.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see if I can find one more good one. Keep talking.
Okay. And last is I'm going to say the original "I'm on a Boat" theme that we did. It was the car fit the theme. It all came together. The car was because of the theme, kind of.
Hold on. So this is one of your favorite pictures.
All right.
Hold on.
Well, I'll keep talking while you pull it up. Oh yeah, this is a great one. This is Bruce standing in the trailer grinding something, wearing a leather harness
and a neck spiky collar.
And a spiky collar, but he's pointing at his safety glasses to tell us that look, he's being safe as he grinds this thing wearing his S&M gear, right? But he's got safety glasses,
there it is.
So therefore he is safe.
Yeah.
So then, the cars were themed up to fit this nicely. The costumes, you can see everyone was in there. They're good costumes. Even the night before at Thompson, we were parked at the Walmart. Greg and Darren went into the Walmart with Darren having a leash on, and the cashier said, "You guys have a good night," and they're like, "Oh, we will."
Oh, this is like the original. Go back one. This is like the original picture of the dong.
Yeah,
this
is where the song originated. Yep.
Oh wow. Okay. I know. So much goodness here. It's all on our Facebook. If you go to 3 Pedal Mafia's Facebook, you can go back. That's where I'm at. Just find all these fabulous pictures. Oh, where's the
original
pictures? Oh, Citroen pictures. All right. Sorry. Too much memory lane. Go ahead. Apologize.
Right, so then "I'm on a Boat" was the Lonely Island song. "I'm on a Boat." You've heard it. And we obviously dressed up with things for the music video. We had the boat, of course. We played that song all weekend. We leaned into the boat theme. We water skied. We had our flippy floppies. So I think these are the things, the themes we'll use to demonstrate what the layers that this all goes to, that you can use to pick up this kind of thing for whatever you think is funny.
Can I talk about one more? We just cover one more before we go on, and that is the Coalition of Alternate Breakfast Meat.
Why?
So
why?
Because this is a weird one.
It does check all the boxes, though.
Okay.
This is a weird one, and sometimes you have to really go left to find something. So. Yes. As you know, on the internet, everything is about bacon. And in the Lemons forums at the time, everything was about bacon. Oh, I need to buy a transmission. Does anybody got one? I'll trade you bacon. Oh, So we decided that we were going to do it basically came down to Soggy. Soggy was so dedicated to his bacon, and he would just do these like long discussions. You know, I said, hey man, that's the best bacon in the world. He'd say, well, I haven't had all the bacon in the world, but this is a really good bacon. And he would tell me about how it's smoked and where it's made and everything. And I said, I want to be that obsessed about other breakfast meat. Like, I want to talk about sausage and scrapple and Spam at the time. And we had already had a Spam theme going because our car was Spam. So we decided that we were going to protest lemons and their obsession with bacon. And then we were going to offer alternate breakfast meat. So every time in the forums for like the month before somebody would mention bacon, I would write 4 paragraphs about, hey, you should try Scrapple. In case you don't know, Scrapple is a blah, blah, blah. And I would just go
Spam
off on
and
it. And Spam. And don't you know how
Taylor ham.
Hawaiians love
Taylor ham
Spam?
versus pork
Taylor
roll.
ham versus pork roll, because Jersey, just everything we did. So then we dressed up as people who would be advocating for the alternate breakfast meat. So we have like Guy Fawkes masked down with the baconocracy, and we had hippies saying, you know, give piece of sausage a chance. And then we had Amish who were hawking Scrapple. It didn't make sense at the time.
Jesus loves alternative breakfast
I don't know
meats.
why we were doing.
There's a picture up on the
It's
screen.
hilarious.
If you're
That's
Those
great.
of you on
That's
YouTube,
awesome.
you can see it.
watching.
So I'll say that this was one of the most fun weekends we had, because you know, like I love to annoy the pre-race meeting, whoever's doing.
Do
the
you?
pre-race
I had
meeting.
no idea. Wow.
So
Shark,
I
shark,
like
shark.
during the entire like pre-race drivers meeting, I sat there holding up a sign that was like, give piece of bacon or down with the baconocracy. I don't remember exactly what it said. And then they said, well, any questions, which is always a problem. If I'm
Not you
in the paddock in a costume, do not ask for questions. And I literally like raised my hand and said, like, when are you going to acknowledge the monotheistic pork product? Blah. It was like three sentences long. And just everyone kind of turned around and looked at me, and they didn't understand what was happening.
Yep.
12
That's
hours
awesome.
later, people are tackling me and shoving bacon down my face. It was hilarious. Everybody was in it. We themed all the cars. One
Yeah.
car said Spam. One car said Taylor ham. One
Amish
car said
Pride
Scrapple.
Scrapple.
Amish Pride Scrapple. We had the Rolls Royce.
We had English breakfast
we
on
had
the back
full
of
English
the
breakfast on it.
full
Yeah, I
English
mean-
breakfast. I have one more picture to share. I found the original "I'm on a boat" instance.
Awesome.
So
Oh, you
there's-
even have shells for the bra. That's
Little
awesome.
us. Yep.
That
We're
is
so
awesome.
little.
Oh my God.
And
Yep.
at this
dressed
time,
as T-Pain and the guys from the music video.
we also did. This is an iconic picture
Yep,
of
Jim is riding the dolphin.
Yeah.
Jeff.
He's
is-
doing
shit.
flips and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. We're all wearing captain's hats.
And
Those
notice
are
the boat is tied to a cone.
Wait, every time that would happen, we'd pull over
I had
and we'd
forgotten
tie it
about
off.
that.
Or we throw an anchor.
Yeah, we
Just
threw
onto the
anchors a
pavement.
lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
we
this is
had-
beautiful. Just you guys know theming
Oh,
so
and we
well.
christened it. I forgot about
Oh.
that. We handed
Phil.
Judge Phil a bottle of champagne and basically told him to christen the boat.
I'm pretty sure we had a hard time doing it. I think
was-
Yeah,
we
we
might
had,
have.
we had to give him a hammer.
Yeah, we
eventually.
had to
It
give it a
wasn't
hammer.
work- It was denting the bumper as he was doing it.
Oh,
It was
the
only an
car's
S10, people.
so pristine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chrissy was obviously the mermaid.
Oh, yep, I was. And this is our other car was with the
And everybody's wearing a tuxedo T-shirt to
Yeah.
look like they're fancy. So it's
Oh.
Yeah.
that was
Pop
a-
bad pod.
hats.
oh,
Yeah.
epic
much good
picture.
here.
So
Okay.
much good here.
All right,
All right,
so,
so
let's get to the topics. Go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Chris.
Thank
I
you.
know you're
Yeah,
jumping in there.
you got it.
Yeah.
So I think we've identified a couple of themes for great themes. One thing that we've said is that, you know, like it needs to be over the top. And I think it can't be light. Like obviously black's not a theme, you know, but you have to do lots of things. Even if it's the same thing again and again and again and again and again, it can't be just like some of the team is dressed up or some people have costumes, or the costumes are kind of like a t-shirt, but there's nothing else going on. Like it really needs to have depth to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote that down as layers to me. It has to have
Good.
layers because you know, there's one thing, you do one thing and it's hilarious. That's fantastic. But then you do that again, and then you do that again, and you do that again. And then it becomes this thing of, well, in comedy, you know, you can continue doing the same thing and it becomes incredibly annoying until it's funny again, but you're still not really grabbing the value of what a great theme should be. It should be, you know, not only are you, for example, not only are you doing the boat, but then you're getting the judge to christen it. You're tying it off. You're doing, you know,
we're water skiing in the paddock at night. We're
yes,
wearing the absolutely dirty and disgusting PFD. Like
right.
The life jacket that we
wore that
found.
for years.
Yeah. The boat had a fishing net, like in a rod, like a fishing rod holder.
It came with
and
it.
We raced with it. Like it was there. Like you could throw a fish at the thing and it would stay. Yeah, I love this layers, and I think like, and we'll go back to the Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
like there was joke inside a joke inside a joke inside a joke. I took the name off of the car, the SCCA car, and I changed the name of, because you know in SCCA you have your name on your car. I changed the name to Real Racer.
Nice. That's
And-
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point. And the stars, the like sheriff stars, were rotors, because we were, you know, like the Waco kid becomes the Wankle kid. Like these are like, nobody sees those jokes.
Right.
But we
when
think
you
we're
go
funny.
Down and down and down and down and down, and you see it, you go, holy shit, these guys are dedicated. People.
Yes.
I don't mean to genderize that.
No, yeah, absolutely. People, yeah, you know, and that's the truth. And if you go down through even the subtlety in the costumes, and we'll get to this one in a minute, the secondary references, right? The Randy Pope's reference, the what's his face, the crazy guy with the boot,
Vermin Supreme.
Vermin Supreme references, right? These are secondary layers that we're building in, and then another joke within a joke, and I don't know. To me, these are the important things, because you'll chuckle first, and then you actually, once you actually listen, you're like, oh, this is good. This is good. And you want to do that. And you guys have done that before. Springtime for Hitler did that before. Your S&M theme had multiple layers. The boat theme had multiple layers. That's the way to do it right.
Yeah. And that was one of the parts about the bacon, the
that had it.
Alternate
That had a
breakfast
lot of
meat,
layers.
because like we were like I bribed the judge with alternate breakfast meat.
Yeah.
Like,
I personally love your precursor work to that. Like for Blazing Saddles, I didn't want to do anything because I didn't want anybody
we were
to
trying
know
to
it.
surprise them.
Right. It didn't want to be nothing. But to me, they're not our next one, but probably the one we really ramp it up again to try to win. It's going to have to be, we're going to have to start seeding everything towards that, including perhaps controversy, to help us into what that next thing is.
Yeah. We went around something a couple of times. You said layers and depth and things, but self-referencing, like referencing the Lemons world, is really important. I'm going to talk about a couple that aren't us, like when the Paddock Saboteurs changed their name. So there was a controversy 5 years, 6 years, I can't even remember, that a bunch of cars all of a sudden didn't run on Saturday. Hey, guess what, asshole? Because they're shitty cars. But a rumor went around that somebody went around and sabotaged the car.
Yeah, it was things like, oh, the kill switch key was out, and it fell on the floor. There was water in the gas.
Water in the gas tank.
It
it's not
rained.
a rusty gas tank.
It rained. It's fine.
Right, yeah. So these guys, they changed their name to Paddock Saboteurs, and they ran around like they were dressed like ninjas. And they had like water bottles.
Yeah, one guy's Captain Kill Switch.
Yeah, Captain
like
Kill
off
Switch.
shirt, right?
Yes, that to me is a good, like you're no one outside of Lemons, and half the people inside of Lemons wouldn't understand what that is. But it's amazing when you can do that self-referential or Lemons referential. You know, like work the community. I love that.
And I think you had a point earlier about the breakfast meat thing. and you guys actually covered this in one of your earlier episodes a long time ago, is that you don't want everybody to understand it at first as much as possible. You'd like for a good number, maybe a 40% or 50% to understand it. But then by the end of the weekend, everybody's on board. And that really is when you've done it, right? So even years later, when the kid asks you, where's Mr. Pfister? Then you've made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened with all those, realistically.
Yep. Yeah,
And
that's
a
the
lot of
inside
these
jokes
were-
one.
A lot of these were one and done. We
yeah.
we did alternate breakfast meat once.
Mhm.
But
A lot of them
we
are only funny once. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Except for the boat. The boat lasts forever.
The boat lasts forever.
Nobody ever got tired of I'm on a boat. We
Yeah.
didn't. You just can't. It's great when it comes on in the car. You're still like, this is the best.
Yeah.
At least I think so.
These
Yeah.
things permeate our memory and become part of our story. So we still play I'm on a boat and everybody sings. We still have the dong and we bounce it off the the trampoline into the hot tub. Yes, this really happens. All of these, we still eat Spam. We still have Scrapple. We still have, pork roll, not just because they're good, but because alternate breakfast meat.
When we're possibly dragging the trailer with the hot tub on it illegally through the paddock at night, I'm on a boat comes on. That just may happen.
Absolutely.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing is through thread and persistence. Through thread is don't just do one little thing and then find the depth, find the continued joke, find the items that make sense. This one, I think we did really well with the Blazing Saddles. It was the skits that happened, not just the big theater at first, but it was Chrissy's fantastic continuation of bringing the toll booth out
Toll booth, yeah.
and people giving dimes to get onto track. That is
And
just
people patting their pockets all the time.
Like, I have a dime.
In your race suit. Where does the change in my
when
race suit?
he's in the race suit and he's patting and then all of his friends are standing next to them saying, why did you come in the pad? Right. Everybody's doing this patting like, first of all, you don't have pockets. Second of all, if you did, do you have a dime? Like I would tell them that. And there's like, oh.
Chrissy,
Oh my God.
male race suits have pockets.
So does mine. But do you put a dime in it?
That's a joke. I was trying to talk about the pockets.
no, but you're right. But that through thread, that the continuation of
Talking about the
bringing it around.
patriarchy here.
Yeah, bring it down. And persistence. You wore a corset both days, the entire time. Even if it was backwards, you still wore it.
Upside down. And if it was
Upside down.
backwards, if it was backwards, it'd be a little bit, you'd notice a little bit more.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yes. No, but I think I wore it the whole time. I think
Pretty
at some
much,
point
except while
I was
driving.
like, somebody said, right, without driving. I think somebody was like, I think the judges are gone. You can take that off. And I was really happy about it. But anyway, I did. Yes, true.
And I think that's another thing is you can't do it just when the judges are watching.
Right.
Oh, no. There's
It
pictures of
has
me.
to permeate your entire being while you're at the track.
Yep.
In the alternate breakfast meet, that was all weekend. I did not stop. Nobody stopped all weekend. When we were on a boat, we were doing that all night. We were singing that song. S&M still is there. And I'm going to shout out some other teams here too, because through thread and persistence, a lot of people really stepped up and started doing things deeper in the night and later in the night. I mean, they played Space Pants 24/7. To me, they had the persistence.
They did.
But
They had a persistence. I'm not sure it's a through thread. But
I'm
it's
not sure
definitely
it has
persistence.
depth.
Yeah,
There's
it doesn't
only
have
one
layers.
joke.
Yeah,
exactly.
And they may eventually get something if they continue to do it for 5 or 6 of these in a row, but just for the sheer fact of wearing the judges down.
Stopping them. If I hear it again, I'll kill them.
Right. But and I don't want to, I love those guys. They're fantastic people.
Oh, yeah.
Matt's wonderful. But it's just that to me, that is a funny gag. I don't think it's the greatest theme. That's just my opinion.
They're leaning
but I
into
enjoy
it very well though. They are making
You're right.
the best.
Absolutely.
It's pretty much the best Space Pants theme that could be done.
I agree with you. And
Without
they're
a
doing a
doubt.
good job of
Yeah.
going to the next one, which is they're kidding it on the edge of annoyance, right?
Yeah.
And that is a good place to be, because it ingrains in your head. It makes you actually notice, right? A lot of these things come by and you don't even notice them. But if you're to the point where, oh my God, I want to get on track and there's a stinking toll booth in front of me to get in, it's the edge of annoyance. And I'll talk. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, go ahead.
The weather has something to do with this. Like, they brought Space
Yeah.
Pants to pit the first time, and it didn't get noticed as much because people weren't out and about, because they were cold and it was snowing and hailing and everything. So if you're going to do one of these and the weather can be appropriate to accommodate mingling, that will help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Some of our greatest themes could be totally killed by a fully rainy weekend.
Oh, at S&M, you can't do in the cold. If you have to wear a jacket
right.
over your
Of
boost
course,
today, nobody sees
then
it.
you're really, really leaning in.
Yeah.
To the M
Our-
Not
part
not
of it.
that interested, actually. Nope.
Our 300Z as a Corvette theme kind of got lost because we weren't wearing short shorts and jorts and stuff like that because it was so cold.
And it
that was just
crashed.
And it
well,
crashed. No, it died. That was at
That was Pittsburgh.
We brought it to Pittsburgh.
It died and then it crashed at NJ. So
Well, I'm gonna give another shout out to another team, but Randy Bish's
oh yeah,
the
Everything, yeah.
Evergreen,
everything they do.
Yeah,
Oh, that
I
was
mean,
the Evergreen wasn't Randy. That was
Yeah, that was that Honda
not
Odyssey.
Tyler. Not
oh no, that was the the guys who did you're right, the Mr. Rogers.
yeah.
That Odyssey.
Like, we raced with
yeah.
that guy. What's his name? Like, it's on the tip of my tongue.
But
Sorry.
you're absolutely right. That
Sorry.
one, the fact that they put the Evergreen in front of the thing and they blocked the traffic was brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Like
Edge of
parked it
annoyance.
sideways.
Edge of
Yeah.
annoyance. Perfect.
And I think Randy was helping out with them. I think that was a combined.
And the cargo containers on the top
Mhm.
were team names, and like, so that thread kept going.
self-referential, deep.
Yes.
Now we're
Beautiful.
getting deep.
Yes.
It's just not the Evergreen that blocked the Suez Canal or whichever canal it was.
Yep.
It was
Suez, yeah.
also it was also lemons themed.
Oh, it was beautiful.
You alternate, and I'll be honest, we didn't really alter Springtime for Hitler. We just kind of did it.
You
like
did
that-
it.
We didn't
Yeah.
really connect it to the race like we did some of these other ones.
True.
Yes. And I think that was one of the really good things we did with the Blazing Saddles is we connected it to it. It wasn't just doing the Mel Brooks thing. It was connecting it to the SCCA. That's the layers, the depth, right?
Yeah.
That really matters, in my opinion, of doing it right. And I love, just to me, that worked. And the RX-7, he drove an RX-7. How convenient was it that was the right syllables to fit into that song? So thank you for getting that side.
Rode a blazing saddle.
So
Yeah,
many
right.
parts of it because
Yeah.
like he was an Alpine Star, like Chris wears an Alpine Star. Like a lot of the things worked out.
Oh.
I mean, it's partly because you're amazing like that, but a lot of them did work out.
No, and I mean, Mental did a lot of work with that
Yeah. Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
And when Mental gets the creative juices flowing, it really does work well
Yeah.
for a lot of these things. So that was
Uh,
excellent.
Another shout out for the
Yeah, no, mental gave me a whole lot, and I only had to alter. Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna say another shout out to those that can be self-referential is, and it is Randy Bish again. I'm sorry, but the Only Lambs, like
Holy Lambs, yes.
in the, like seating and doing things outside the racetrack. For
Mhm.
those of you who don't know, Randy Bish, League of Legitimate Nigerian Businessmen or whatever it is, literally created a website called onlylambs.com based on OnlyFans and he must have spent at least 10 seconds photoshopping each of those pictures.
He did it in the car on the way to the track. I
Yeah.
think.
And it is basically the Lemon staff, mildly suggestive. I wouldn't call it pornographic.
Softcore porn.
It's not even that. They're all clothed. It's just, it's like cut and paste like Eric Rude's head on a girl in a bra and panties, and it's Only Lambs, and fantastic. Just
Yeah,
great.
and his
yeah.
recent writing or getting somebody to write those rap hip hop songs
Yeah.
before the track, before the event, and releasing them as part of that. That's excellent. Bish is
Amazing,
really, really doing a great job
Yeah.
with those things. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, moving on. in my opinion, you need to do a little theater. You need to do a little performance, a little something. During tech, you need to make it into something. Just coming through and continuing to do your thing is great, but for great themes, you need to set the stage and create that little something. I like adding music into it because I know people usually enjoy it, but it also allows for that cohesive element from which to work from. But got to have that theater. You did that beautifully in Springtime for Hitler, on the boat, all these things, everything you do when you'd like tie it and word off or doing the christening of it, all that's theater, and it ties people in, and it certainly brings the judges into it. Like, this is more, we are in a family of crazy people and we love every one of them. This is it, so I think that's an important thing for making a theme great.
It kind of kicks it off.
I think we do that really often.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things, and I was just thinking about some other themes, like when we made fun of Sorry for Party. We did SARI for Party, and we did the whole 10 minutes of the Indian song Honda Company
song,
Oh, but that was a tie-in to a previous wrap-up video.
Oh yeah, right. This
where
is
they
getting
played
pretty deep.
20 minutes of the Honda Company
Yep.
song.
And I'm thinking of things like that we, I guess maybe even that fits a lot of the things that you're talking about.
Or
actually.
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style was fantastic. I'm going to say that Gangnam Style, similar to Space Pants and some of the other things, it was a moment in time when that song was huge. We dressed up like it. We did that. Eric, have you ever seen that video? That video has to exist somewhere.
I have seen that video.
It doesn't anymore. I think we looked for it.
Oh, wow,
it's not on their website anymore.
I saw that.
We did a beat for beat rendition of the Gangnam Style video. We had a big picture of Psy on the Civic.
Mm-hmm.
We painted the cars in fantastic.
They were not fantastic.
Colors. No, we did it poorly, but the colors were fantastic.
Yeah, in theory, the theory was there.
I thought sorry, go ahead.
So I'm going to say, because I'm going to shout out another great theme, and it was the Occupy Sesame Street, where Occupy Wall Street was going on, and there was a team that had a Sesame Street theme, and they did.
I think that was Eyesore.
It was Eyesore. We were there.
Yeah.
So what if the Sesame Street characters were occupying Sesame Street?
Tickle down economics.
Yeah.
One of our favorite signs.
Yeah. Like I don't think, like, we're talking about layers. That's layers.
I love it.
It doesn't have to be Lemon specific if it is the perfect moment for some sort of perfect cultural reference.
Right.
I
love it.
And I'm down with that. I don't, like I said, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I also think our Squid Games performance was actually good, and they liked that. That was something I had forgotten about. But Squid Games actually did relatively well on that one.
It wasn't deep. It was just a quick
topical.
This
Nobody
thing
could
is
do
hot.
it again.
That was the peak of it right there. We hit it.
Yep.
And we got it just enough, and we wore sweatshirts all weekend, and that was about it.
And we shot each other with the darts all weekend. Yeah.
Threw the dong at people.
Yeah. Cultural references at the peak of their I'm done with this. Like, it has to be right at that moment where it's not like the hot new thing. It's like oh God, even my grandmother knows this.
Right.
Is like the
right,
time it has to.
Right as it's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard because it has to time with the race.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd have to get the timing right to be able to prep for it. But I know we were buying sweatshirts the Thursday before, they showed up the Wednesday before we left, and Chris and I binged it. So most of it, so we could actually just have a clue of what was going on. So sometimes it's really a hurry.
And it was near Halloween, and they were sold out everywhere because everyone was buying it for their
and
Halloween costume.
Eric was making the masks.
I was.
And when we did
Hot glue
Gangnam Style, another team showed up prepared to do Gangnam Style and literally altered at the track because they knew we would do it better. So
that's harsh.
And they agreed.
They saw
and
it.
We did.
It's like, well, okay, we got to do something better.
Shit, they're way ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, I'm into like current music. 3 weeks before the race, they were like, "Jeff, you haven't heard Gangnam Style? Go find it and learn the dance." And then like a week later, I was like, holy shit, this is unavoidable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
so you have to pivot quickly if you're gonna do that zeitgeist moment.
Yep. And I think my last note for what makes a theme great is attitude. And I think this is one of those things you got to be able to, you can't be antagonistic in a real manner. You have to be trying to be playful for the whole thing. Chrissy's attitude with manning the toll booth, it was fantastic, right? Everybody loved it, and nobody felt like she was really gonna hold them up. Jeff, your attitude with the pork products, right? It's you played it to the point where you were over the top, so everybody knew it was just meant to be funny, right? You know, so these kinds of things, attitude helps, because you can have the greatest theme and no one could enjoy it if you're too serious about it, or you're worried about it has to be perfect, or you are, I don't really care, right? So there's this middle layer that you have to do in order to make a theme great. And I think you guys have done a great job of that over the years. And I think people know it and they love it. People go to tracks and they wonder, what is 3 p.m. going to do next?
They actually do. I want to add to that, just so there's a sprinkle of how much Lemons and the people that run Lemons and judge Lemons enjoy and support the themes. And that's no surprise, but it's kind of like, if your boss says it's great and you keep doing it, you know, then you thrive off of it. But even the most raciest of racers, I'm going to win now, they're like, well, the toll booth's down. And like, just like look at him at like a straight face. And so I'm like, yeah, where's the dime? And they're just like, I don't have
know.
one. And so then like, right.
Wait, let me search my pockets.
Right. Jeff is trying to find his pockets. And so that helped a lot when you can, like, of course I'm going to let them through. I'm not going to hold them up. But the fact that Jay's like, you needed a dime. and just straight face. And so I think that helps when they support it so much, that they're not just like, Chrissy, get out of the way, right? Like they're like, okay, yeah, you're doing this. So that helps.
So that's because we're not holding up the race.
Absolutely.
Really. Like, it's, if it were really causing a problem, then no, that's not going to work. But it's
Right.
having that balance.
I think Randy actually held, or with the guys with the evergreen really held up the race, but that was besides the point. That's actually,
They didn't do it for like half an hour.
No.
It was like
But I'm
3
saying,
minutes.
but
Okay,
that
fine,
was
we'll
the
get out of way.
point of that one.
Exactly.
That was supposed to be an obstruction.
Edge of
and it
annoyance.
was. Yeah. So, one of the things I want to say is, and maybe this is like just the pot calling the pot a pot or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but there needs to be some bravery.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think you could ever win with the Dukes of Hazzard, no matter how good you did it, or Smokey and the Bandit, or, you know what I mean? Like, you have to do something that is just
A little bit of originality. I mean, you
a
can't
little
pick
bit
one of those those way overdone themes. It's got to be something.
and it's got to be something a little dangerous, a little, oh, are the people going to get this?
Yep.
Are people going to care?
Yeah.
Are people going to be offended?
Yep.
I mean, we did a swingers theme.
Right.
I like literally went around and invited people to an orgy in underwear.
And a captain's hat and a big mustache.
And a big mustache. Yeah, absolutely.
And a bathrobe. It was great.
Bathrobe.
With knee pads.
I wish I'd seen that one.
That brandy
one, honestly,
glass.
Yeah,
That's
that's
nice
one of
too.
my favorite pictures ever. Is I was walking around in this costume, because that's what you do if you're going to do this right. And there was someone talking to Jay, and I interrupted him and I did the bit, hey, is that your wife? She was hot. Bring her to the party tonight. We're having a key party. And he like wrapped his arm around my shoulder and like kind of turned me a little to make sure that like both of us got in the picture. Like, cause someone was going to take a picture, and he was like, I don't want it to look like, Jay didn't want it to look like it was something that was interrupting him. He wanted to like show, this is what Lemons is.
Yeah.
And like, that was like he was not saying you're annoying. He was saying, I love this.
Yeah.
And playing to the judges and just going a little bit in the danger zone is going to make it great.
Yes, it was clear that they loved the last theme, right? They loved what we did at New Jersey. You could see Jay you could just see him light up in happiness, because to him, Lemons is a community in which races go on, or something like that, right? I mean, right? IOE first, everything else. Did you win? Who cares? That's he says those things, and it just made me so happy to see him just light up and to embrace that this crazy happens at his races, and I loved it.
They're fun when you do it right and you are having fun with it. That's when the fun comes across and everyone gets into it. Of leaning into it.
So true. All right, so look,
attitude,
exactly. Attitude is so important. All right, so let me do one last thing. What do you need to do to pull off a great theme? We talked about the concepts. We talked about all the things that make a theme great, and all those are important for that. But I'll say this: planning. You have to plan. You have to actually start in advance, get the people involved, figure out what you need, props, all that stuff. It's important. Don't call it in on the last minute, unless you're doing something, unless you're really, really creative and you can put together an Only Lambs in the last on the trip up. But take the time, think about it months in advance, plan ahead. If you're not going to be ready for the next race, wait for the next one, wait for the one after that, because it's worth it.
Don't rush it.
Don't rush it. Well said. Yep. I think dedication from the team is critical. You need a team who is willing to do this. Like your team, the 3 round model, I should say yours.
Our team.
I'm part of it. Our team is always willing to put on a GIMP costume or an S&M collar or whatever, right? They're willing to do that. It matters. So you need to have that team who could buy in and
you need consent. Always get consent, kids.
We learned that in the S&M thing. Always get consent.
Yes.
Creep them out.
Yep.
But
Yep.
don't touch them. Never mind. Go on. Just.
These are the life lessons. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Coordination is important. I recommend getting somebody who basically coordinates what's going on. Not because you can't do it yourselves, but everybody can look to an individual to say what's next or what's going to go, or when do I do this? It matters. So figure out somebody on your team who is going to coordinate the events and let them do it. Let them tell the people, listen to what they say, and let them run with that, because that way you can time things out, you can push things, you can continue that depth and those layers of the next day, do the one thing that you didn't do the other day, and just let that happen. But you're going to need somebody to coordinate it. Or else it'll get a little flatter, and maybe you've done your joke and then you do the same joke, and maybe there's no need. But honestly, that's not what makes a great theme, in my opinion. Obviously, costumes, scripts, music, jokes, theater, all that stuff is critical. It makes a difference. It makes people laugh, makes people wonder. That bravery comes out there in those costumes and the music and all that stuff. So push for it. And the more you do, the crazier it is, the better off you're going to be. That as you get that bravery. Skits, figure out a skit, do something. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, one of the things that I think you're skirting around is, like, everybody needs to be dedicated, but everybody needs to have fun. Like, it needs to amuse the people who are doing it.
Oh, that's what I was saying about attitude. You have like that shows through. If you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm wearing this stupid costume, then no one's gonna care.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna call out Bruce here.
To me.
So when Bruce first came to us, he was there the first time we did the boat, and we like handed him a tuxedo t-shirt, and he's like, I get the racing, but why are you wearing all these costumes? And as we drove around and as people cheered for us, he started to get it. 2 races later, he's like in a thong pretending to be a clown
with a sheet,
throwing water balloons.
We're like, what are you? And he's like, I don't even know. And he's like, I got this sheet and I put a hole in it, and this is my wife's or some lady's underwear. And
he was some sort of like clown.
Sure,
we were doing a circus theme,
and it was like an effort. He tried, but
but it was great. It was fantastic. Like,
it's wonderful.
Doesn't need to be a high quality costume, the person in the costume has to be having a ball and laughing.
That's another theme. 7-part. I just lost it.
The circus.
Carnival.
Carnival, yeah.
Carnival. That was a good one.
Real quick, I'll just mention that we were at Shenandoah in West Virginia.
Summit Point,
West Virginia. The year before, everyone had complained that it was really crashy. So we showed up as Summit Point bumper cars, and we painted everything like bumper cars, and then we were all people in the circus.
The boat was the kiddie ride. It had a little
the
bell.
Little bell.
Wait, that was Carnival.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
circus.
I'm sorry. That was
Yeah.
it was in reference to the year before because it was
year
crashy.
before,
I understand.
exactly.
I get. Yes.
So like, Bruce showed up as a clown. Somebody showed up as a like the strong. Steve was the strong man, I think.
Yeah.
I laid on a bed of nails.
I had balloons. I made balloon animals.
Balloon animals.
I was
yeah.
a lion tamer with that. I was scared to use.
Omar was selling balloons, but he kept letting them go, and they'd go up into the sky.
I knew he
like the hat. He had the hat that said like $2 on it.
Right,
and he just
exactly.
walked around with balloons.
and Chris kept like we would make a balloon and then be like just hold this, and then all of a sudden like we'd look over and be like, where'd the balloon go? And he'd be like,
I let it go. I miss Omar. Omar, if you're out there, we miss you.
oh, that was
So just imagine how much fun you guys are having
also-
right now. Just thinking about this.
Oh my
That's
God.
how much fun it matters to be part of
But-
it. That's
That's what I'm
awesome.
saying.
we went through with that theme so much that we had all fried food. We had funnel cakes. We had everything that we
Oh, we
ate
were, like,
was absolutely fried. And
Oh,
so
Doritos
yeah, no,
and
we
everything.
went out.
The
That
deep
was like
fryer
a-
was going. We just never stopped.
nope. It was like I don't know that we had breakfast. We might have even had breakfast, but we had like we went out to. Yes, we had fried everything just because part of the
And
theme.
again, because it amused us.
Yeah, I don't think at
Like-
some point nobody really sees you because it's the
Nobody
paddock so
comes
small.
over and sees what you're eating for breakfast. We just did it because it made us laugh.
Oh, layers and layers. I love it.
Layers.
I
We
love
like
it. I love
Sorry,
it.
I interrupted your
Sorry.
list and I put it on the list. Go on, Eric.
No, it's great. This is what matters, right? I guess have great insight, and that's why you are so good at this. And the last time is, if you're going there to race and you got a 2-person team and your car isn't passing tech, you kind of have 2 options. You can theme all weekend long and just be part of the party, or you can go to race. So don't overdo it for yourself, right? Take your time, think about it, do a theme that makes sense for you, get prepped, get your tech in order, and then really focus on it. So all I'm saying is that don't reach too far. Plan, sort of like what I said before, is if you're not going to be ready for the next one, just plan for the one after that, right? Take your time, do it right, because it's worth it to do it right. If it's just a half-ass theme, black is a theme, that kind of black is a car, it doesn't make sense. But make it happen. Think about it, and it's worth it to invest the time and the attitude and the self-degradation and to do it right. So give yourself that. You don't have to theme. No one has to theme. Just be part of the event, but just spend your time, think about it, and plan ahead. And I think those are the big ones for me.
Yep, totally.
That's-
The planning is what separates an epic theme from, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Costumes. I'm not going to say this about just costumes. The gist and the details are all important. Like it wasn't like the costumes don't need to be screen accurate.
No.
People need to see it and identify it immediately.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's the same space pants as they had on the TV show. What matters is everybody's space pants are the same.
Or they're all
and they wear
spacey.
the wigs.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
they all wearing you know what I mean? It's the wigs and the pants that indicate what it was. And this was really important when we were doing the Squid Games.
Yep.
Like it was okay that the letters weren't exactly the same
Yes.
because they were all green and we wore the masks and we did the thing and then we died and you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like we got that we played the music, it was the beats. The beats are more important than the notes.
I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's you can sell it. As long as you sell it, it all works. Right. You don't need to be exactly like that. Like Gabby Johnson was really Vermin Supreme, really, right? You know, you're not.
It's Vermin Supreme
You're
pretending to be Gabby Johnson.
yeah. I considered that, but I didn't want to do the drunk Vermin. I didn't want to do the drunk all the time. I want to just do drunk when it made sense, because that's, you know. So to me, I thought Vermin Supreme was a likely tie-in, and thus the layers. As 3PM is the only team who's had a presidential candidate drive for them.
And we live to tell about it.
Yep.
Anyone have anything else on this topic?
This was awesome.
I just have to make a shout out before you finish to the theme godfather, Spank. You are the master. We didn't talk about you,
Mm-hmm.
but the Dutch, when you had the DAF car and you showed up with the wooden shoes, why
And
there were
set up a red light
chickens,
district and
all of that.
the Dacia, where I'll just to say this quickly, where he paid local like 4-H kids to bring their chickens and goats and things there to put them in the car going through there. He grew this ridiculous mustache. They had one guy, Rich, who's huge, do a balance beam routine because it's Romania. All weekend he's trying to shove American blue jeans and cigarettes to Jay, and the other judges like, you take like, but it and that kind of thing is just.
Yeah.
It's the commitment, all the things we talked about. Spank does it so well.
Spank is amazing.
Yeah.
It's great.
I wish I had seen that one, because there's a couple in the history books that I say, I would have just loved that. So I'm looking forward to see what.
When Spank tried to sell the Tornado when we had the car sales in at Sonoma, absolutely. He is also he's also prepping more than one car, 4 or 5 cars for arrive and drives with tools, transfer them to the pack to the track all by himself, plus theming. That's good because he's that kind of guy.
No,
And
I think it was working with him after the boat, that's going to help what brought us our theme out further, is
you're right,
that inspiration.
And really, like one of our first away race, we made signs in the hotel room, the Mopar is a slow car, and the signs, because we were the sign spinning people.
Spinners.
Yep. So when he says you do it, we're like, we go all in. I think you're absolutely right. We got our inspiration there.
And I think this Halloween meets the gasoline incentive is just going to keep bringing more and more, right? And I so look forward to that, because I want to see, who's going to really knock it out of the park at Thompson, right? Mm-hmm. Who's going to knock it out of the park in New Hampshire? Because there's going to be teams, they see what other teams do and they just build. I hope they build from this.
Well, so that's why we're having this show too. That particular episode is here's what's worked for us. Go with it.
Yep.
I was gonna say, people remember Speedy Cop's cars, but they remember our costumes and our themes. Yep. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, and I'm we're better than that. But I think that made a big difference in what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it made us
different. The commitment all weekend.
Yep.
All right.
Love it.
Anything else? Do we have a Just the Tip coming up? Who's going to present this? We have it there. I just don't know who's doing it. I don't know who to throw it to.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't put it there.
None of us know where
good.
this came from.
Well, it showed up. I mean, it was.
It must be Mental. Mental must have put it there.
Okay. Well, it was.
This is a Haggerty article. Link will be in the show notes. And it is the. I'm waiting for it to load.
8 of the most lethal tools in your home shop. I bet I can guess some right off the bat. Angle grinder.
Well, there's a picture there.
A picture. Yep, obviously. So we've got drill press.
Oh wait, I thought we were guessing. I didn't know. I didn't scroll down. Oh, okay.
Right,
I was totally gonna.
Let's keep guessing.
I was gonna guess drill press. Actually, I had not scrolled down yet.
Yeah. What else is dangerous in the shop?
I have the list, so I'll be the arbiter. Nobody else.
Sawzall.
Sawzall. Yeah,
Sawzall.
Sawzall is
spring compressor, because if you do it wrong,
spring compressor is on the list.
Okay,
absolutely.
Sawzall didn't make the list.
In the paragraph about the spring compressor itself, it says hell hath no fury, like a compressed spring unintentionally released.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Scares me.
And this
Scares me.
doesn't seem dangerous, but I'm going to say it: a jack, because of all the people that use a jack improperly and it fails.
A jack is on the list. Floor jacks are fascinating tools, but how
Yeah.
you use them and how you, terrifying are the dangers involved. Jacks are great.
What else?
How about a pneumatic nailer?
Not on the list.
Not on
This
your
is-
not in your
this is-
home shop.
This
Okay,
is from Haggerty, so I would say it is all automotive tools.
fine.
I'm going to just say, because we mentioned it, but we didn't really say anything about it. The 4.5-inch grinder, angle grinder, is my favorite tool in the
Yes.
shop.
Mhm.
It bites me at least once a year,
Yep.
and I will never stop using it because it is amazing. So I feel slightly targeted, but I will give a safety tip because that's what this is all about.
Please.
Make sure that the blades are put on correctly.
Duh.
And a blade with a chunk out of it because you dug in or something is about to explode. Always wear eye protection. when
Ask
you're using
Mental
the
to see
grinder.
the scar on his neck right near his jugular from a piece of angle grinder blade.
All right. So I think Eric said plasma cutter.
Plasma cutter not on the list.
Yeah.
Welder?
Welder not on the list.
Oxyacetylene torch.
Not on the list.
Oh.
Oh well, damn. How is that not dangerous?
Because it's not in a home shop.
It's not in
Yeah.
everybody's shop, I think. I
Yeah.
think they're trying to. This is everyman tools. Here's an interesting one. This is not a tool, but the trash can. Chrissy, do you want to try and guess why the trash can
I
is
think I know.
dangerous?
When you throw stuff out, hot metal plus paper, it goes on fire.
Say spontaneous combustion. though.
Spontaneous combustion of the
Okay.
chemicals. Yeah. Greasy
Well, who's-
rags.
Who's throwing out chemicals?
No, well, just certain oily rags, and depends on the kind of oil it is.
Uh-huh.
Over time, together actually can be exothermic.
Right.
and
Yep. Have a fire rated canister with a lid is what their safety tip that they are giving.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
every shop has one of those.
Yes.
No, they don't at all. Not
But
even a little bit.
minimize your piles of oily rags. If you spread it's a mass of them is what is enough to really kind of set it over the top usually.
Right. How many-
Single rag
Are
is
there any
not
more
good.
left?
There are two more that I think we should bring up. One is a knife. Every knife.
I understand.
Little razor
Uh,
blades.
Oh, I'm trying to get rid of them actively.
they're great.
Basically,
Nope.
sharper knives are safer ones.
Sure.
Dull cutting edges require additional force to push through the material, and they have a tendency to slip or turn in the direction that you did not intend.
Truth.
Don't cut towards yourself.
Seriously,
edge on it.
please don't do that. It's my last injury that I just
Yep.
had.
And the last one on the list, not the last one, but the last one I'll mention is a punch or a chisel.
Mm.
So, you're going to be hammering with a chisel and you're going to hit your thumbs, and things are also going to fly away and become a sharp projectile. Mushrooming edges become chips that send things into your eyes. Wear your glasses and make sure that your punches are taken care of.
Watch your punches.
Watch your punch. Pull your punches.
Pull your
Thanks,
punches all the
Mental,
time.
for that great link that we didn't put in there.
It's funny because we saw it in there, so nobody actually ever assumed we could read it and
Nope.
follow up.
Mhm.
All right. Anybody know what we're doing next week?
We got some thoughts, but nothing to announce yet.
I have something to bring up after the pod as a potential guest. So,
Okay.
all
Don't
right.
tell. Now people want to know. Don't tell.
Now we're
people.
keeping them in
I,
suspense.
oh, wait.
This
Just
This is
wait.
like a teaser.
Eric.
to-
Thanks for being here. This is fantastic. Awesome.
Thanks for having me on. It's always great to sit there and chat with
Thanks
you guys.
for being our theme master.
Yeah. Thanks
Happy to do
for,
it.
finishing our award 1,000% or whatever, batting 1,000, because that was the one award that we didn't have.
Well, I'm proud to have it here on my wall. So thank you all.
You deserve it. So also, I'm going to say thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We'll also hope you join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then you can comment down there in the doodly-doo if you're watching on YouTube, or rate on the iTunes or whatever your podcast you're using. Yeah, if you have any questions or show ideas or thoughts on what makes a good theme, drop a comment on our Facebook page, email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com, text mental, say, hey, when are you coming back to the show? 484-243-0455.
He wants to see pictures of junk.
He wants to see pictures of your junk, yes. And without him here, I have to interrupt Chrissy like twice as often just to take up the slack. So, yeah, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Everyone Racers. We are on Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the theme side up. Unless you're on the racetrack, then just keep those wheels down. Bye, everybody.